Hello, I'm Jen. Welcome back to my channel, Literary Love 123, where I combine my master's in English with my passion for the horror genre to talk about the books that I read. Today's video is my August TBR video. So after this quick intro, we'll come back and talk about what I'll be reading this month. Today is August 9th, so I'm going to start by talking about one of the books that I've read and already finished this month, and that is The Shining Girls by Lauren Bukes. I gave The Shining Girls 3 stars. When I initially started, it was a 5-star. Then I got midway, and I was like, maybe it's a 4-star. Then when I got to the end, I gave it 3 stars. I did enjoy it, but I guess I should tell you what it's about. It is about a serial killer that travels through time, and his target woman is a woman who shines and a woman who gives off something a little bit extra. And he finds them, and then he goes back in time when they're children, and he gives them this little item, and he kind of like marks them out, and watches them over the course of time, and comes back to unalive them later on. And he encounters one of these particular shining girls who is Kirby, and she ends up being the main character. And when he tries to kill her, she's able to escape. So she's haunted him throughout all of time. So you have Kirby, who is on a mission to find out who her killer is. She ends up working for a newspaper as an intern, and the book follows from her point of view, and also from Harper, who's the serial killer, his point of view. And it's a very interesting concept, but I felt let down by the end. It seemed rather abrupt. And that's my thoughts about The Shining Girls. So, because I did enjoy it and I want to read more from Lauren Bukes, the next book I want to talk about on my August TBR is Broken Monsters by Lauren Bukes. And I plan to listen to the audiobook for that particular book. So let me give you the description of Broken Monsters. Detective Gabriella Versado has seen a lot of bodies, but this one is unique even by Detroit's standards. Half boy, half deer, somehow fused together. As stranger and more disturbing bodies are discovered, how can the city hold on to a reality that is already tearing at its seams? If you're Detective Versado's geeky teenage daughter, Layla, you commence a dangerous flirtation with a potential predator online. If you're desperate freelance journalist Jono, you do whatever it takes to get the exclusive on a horrific story. If you're Thomas Keene, known on the street as TK, you'll do what you can to keep your homeless family safe and find the monster who is possessed by the dream of violently remaking the world. So this premise really grabs my attention. So I am looking forward to reading another book from Lauren Bukes. Now, the next book I want to talk about, I'm only a few pages into, and that is Crypt of the Moon Spider by Nathan Ballingrud. This is my pick for my August Literary Love Book Club selection. So let me talk a little bit about what Crypt of the Moon Spider is about. Years ago, in a cave beneath the dense forests and streams on the surface of the moon, a gargantuan spider once lived. Its silk granted its first worshippers immense faculties of power and awe. It's now 1923, and Veronica Brinkley is touching down on the moon for her intake at the Barrowfield Home for Treatment of the Melancholy. A renowned facility, Dr. Barrington calls invasive and highly successful treatments have been lauded by many, and they're so simple. All it takes is a little spider silk in the amygdala, maybe a strand or two in the prefrontal cortex, and perhaps an inch in the hippocampus for near evisceration of those troublesome thoughts and ideas. But patients aren't the only ones with trouble on their minds, and although the spider has been dead for years, its denizens are not. Someone or something is up to no good, and Veronica just might be the cause. So, like I said, I'm only a couple or a few pages into it, but already in the interactions between Veronica and her husband, I am getting the yellow wallpaper vibes, because you have a woman being treated for her mental illness and a husband who seems to be like a real kind of know it all. And this treatment obviously carries some negative repercussions, similar to the rest cure prescribed to the narrator in Charlotte Perkins Gilman's The Yellow Wallpaper. So I'm looking for commentary on treatment of the mentally ill, treatment of women, especially during the 1920s. Unfortunately, not much has changed in a lot of ways today, but that's a topic for another time. So the next book on my August TBR is Strange Houses by Uketsu, and it is translated by Jim Ryan. Now, a few months ago, I read Strange Pictures, also by Uketsu and illustrated by Jim Ryan. And I can link the video where I talk more about Strange Pictures down below. I enjoyed it. It's a mystery to solve. You look at certain pictures and you try to decipher clues to explain what happened to the people who drew them. And it was just very interesting in kind of terms of trying to figure out what the pictures meant. And sometimes I could get close on the pictures, but most of the time in Strange Pictures, the solution or the meaning behind the drawing, I was like, okay, I cannot figure this out. So I had to wait until the revelation. So let's talk about Strange Houses. It is described by the New York Times Book Review as a labyrinthine and multi-layered horror mystery. Wonderfully complex and carefully crafted, Uketsu keeps readers guessing until the very end. So this idea of a labyrinth in a house, it already gives me a little bit of House of Leaves vibes. But let's talk about strange houses. When a writer fascinated by the macabre is approached by an acquaintance, he finds himself investigating an eerie house for sale in Tokyo. The building, with its bright and spacious interior, seems like the perfect first home. But upon closer inspection, its floor plan reveals a mysterious dead space hidden between the walls. Again, like House of Leaves. Seeking a second opinion, the writer shares the layouts with his friend Kurihara, an architect, only to discover more unnerving details throughout. What is the true purpose behind the house's disturbing design? And what happened to the former owners who disappeared without a trace? When a body suddenly appears and a young woman reaches out about a second house, it soon becomes clear that the writer and his friend may be in over their heads. In Strange Houses, mystery horror YouTube sensation Uketsu casts readers in the role of detective, inviting them to help map out the truth hidden within a series of chilling and puzzling floor plans and the terrifying plot behind it all. I am really excited about Strange Houses. The next book on my August TPR toilet paper roll on my TBR is S.A. Cosby's King of Ashes. I have wanted to read from S.A. Cosby for a while, and I have not yet. This will be my first, then, as you can tell, even though it's his latest. And if I like it, I'm going to go back and get to his backlist books. But this one especially intrigued me because he was somewhat inspired by King Lear, and that is my favorite Shakespeare play. So all you had to say is King Lear and S.A. Cosby, who I already wanted to read, and you had me. Roman Carruthers left the smoke and fire of his family's crematory business behind in his hometown of Jefferson Run, Virginia. He is enjoying a life of shallow excess as a financial advisor in Atlanta until he gets a call from his sister, Nevaeh, telling him their father is in a coma after a hit and run accident. When Roman goes home, he learns the accident may not be what it seems. His brother Dante is deeply in debt to dangerous, ruthless criminals, and Roman is willing to do anything to protect his family. Anything. A financial whiz with a head for numbers and a talent for making his clients rich, Roman must use all his skills to try to save his family while dealing with a shadow that has haunted them all for 20 years: the disappearance of their mother when Roman and his siblings were teenagers. It's a mystery that Nevaeh, who has sacrificed so much of her life to hold her family together, is determined to solve once and for all. As fate and chance and heartache ignite their lives, the Carruthers family must pull together to survive or see their lives turn to ash. Because, as their father counseled them from birth, nothing lasts forever. Everything burns. I love this cover too. This cover is very, very stunning. And that is all for my August TBR. I am not piling a bunch of books on my list. There may be other books I get to this month, but these are the books that I have selected to definitely read in August. So I'd love to know if you are looking forward to any of the books that I mentioned. If you want more information about my Literary Love Book Club, you can check my Discord and get information there. I will be hosting a live show discussion for Crypt of the Moon Spider either the first or second week of September. So look for more details to come within the next week or so. And let me know what you're reading. And I look forward to hearing from you. I would appreciate it if you would hit that like, hit subscribe, hit that bell so we can keep on talking about books. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.